Hello, everyone. Wow, look at that. So many of you here. We're so excited and happy and grateful that you're here to support your kids and also to see all the effort and the work that they've been putting for the past few months. I'm Sabine.
And I'm Jackie, and we want to welcome our volunteers and our guests that are here as well. Thank you so much for coming out to our Christmas program, and we look forward to having you enjoy yourselves here as well, too.
Yes. Now, as you know, the Christmas story is a story that we all know, right? We've heard it so many times. But sometimes it takes looking at a story from a completely different angle for it to come maybe back to life for you. And this is what we're inviting you to do with us tonight. So without further ado, we give you Christmas in Reverse.
Thank you.
Christmas Day. It came to pass in the night, a marvelous star shone its light upon the star, the Lord of all, for Christ was born on Christmas. It came to pass, the superstar led some kings from afar. The wise men came on a camel train, and Christ was born on Christmas Day. It came to pass each fabulous fact, it came to pass each awesome act. It came to pass, but here's what's staying: the joy of Jesus, Christmas Day. It came to pass each fabulous fact, it came to pass each awesome act. It came to pass, but here's what's staying: the joy of Jesus, this boy named Jesus, the joy of Jesus on Christmas Day.
Wow, that was wonderful. Awesome job. Wonderful. Give it up. Give it
Yes,
up.
let's give them more rounds of applause. Yes, awesome. I love it.
But we're not finished yet.
Oh.
That was just our first song.
And we haven't even gotten to the speaking parts yet. I'm one of the narrators.
And I'm one of the narratresses. Narratresses? Girl narrators.
Okay, well, I'm so sorry. Well, usually when Christmas programs happen, everyone is gathered at the manger. I thought it was the end. I'm so sorry.
It would be the end if we were doing a regular Christmas musical. But this is Christmas in reverse.
Christmas in reverse. Oh, wait, don't explain to me. I think I can figure it out. Christmas in reverse. That would be No. Unless you want to spell it in reverse, so that would be S-A-M. Samson!
Not the word Christmas backwards, but the story of Christmas in reverse.
We don't get it.
Then let us demonstrate.
Okay.
Let's start at the very ending. A very strange place to start. Let's understand each chapter and verse. Let's look at Christmas in reverse. Young king, who followed that star in the sky? Bye-bye. Young star, the one Isaiah told about. Lights out. If you want to know why the Lord came to earth, we're gonna show you Christmas in reverse. If you want to know why the Lord came to earth, we're gonna show you Christmas in reverse. Christmas in reverse.
Yo, shepherds, who first heard the heavenly host, adios.
Yo, angels, the brought good music song. So long.
If you want to know why the Lord came to earth, we're gonna show you Christmas in reverse. If you want to know why the Lord came to earth, we're gonna show you Christmas in reverse. Christmas in reverse. Take the motel host. Now goodbye, Joe. Take Mary with cheer. But don't you dare take Jesus, no! Leave him there! If you want to know why the Lord came to earth, we're gonna show you Christmas in reverse. If you want to know why the Lord came to earth, we're gonna show you Christmas in reverse. Christmas in reverse.
nothing left but Jesus in the manger. But why did Jesus come down here in the first place? Why do we even need Christmas?
To understand that, let's rewind and go back to where everything first began. The most beautiful place on earth, the Garden of Eden. Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. But to understand why Jesus came to man, let's start in the garden called Eden.
I'm sorry. Did I startle you? Don't be afraid. Come a little closer. Yes, closer. Closer. I'll show you the sweetest fruit in the garden. And you can even share it with Adam. Here it is. Really? Why? Ha! What nonsense! I mean, you won't die. God knows that as soon as you eat it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing both good and evil. Try it. It's nice and shiny and so good. And it will make you wise. You see?
Oh, Eve, what did you do? God told us not to eat from that tree.
But I ate it and I'm still alive. Surely God was leading that tree.
Well, since you've eaten from it, I guess I have to also.
Now, doing what God tells us not to do is called sin. And since God is always with us, He knows everything. Just as He knew that Adam and Eve had sinned.
Now, we don't know how long Adam and Eve had been in the garden, but we do know that until this time, they have always obeyed God. But when Adam and Eve sinned, the garden became a place where God could no longer live.
And as the angels watched Adam and Eve leave the garden in shame, what do you think they might have said?
God told you so, all those many years ago. Did you listen? No, no, no. Now we say He told you so. God told you so, all those many years ago. Did you listen? No, no, no. Now we say He told you so.
Now Adam and Eve had children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, but none worshiped God until Noah. So God told Noah to build a big boat with animals of every kind. Noah invited everyone to join him in the boat, but the people just laughed and walked away. So when God brought the great flood, only Noah and his family survived. And what do you think Noah and his family might have said?
God told you so, all those many years ago. Did you listen? No, no, no. Now we say He told you so. God told you so, all those many years ago. Did you listen? No, no, no. Now we say He told you so.
Noah's children had prophets like Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Malachi, who told people to love and obey God. And for a time, they did worship God.
Then those people chose their own way. And what do you think those prophets might have said?
We told you God loves you, how He will forgive you. We told you, and we did not lie. But you chose your own way, your own way. Now we say, what a shame, son. What a shame. And you can't deny. God told you so, all those many years ago. Did you listen? No, no, no. Now we say He told you so. God told you so, all those many years ago. Did you listen? No, no, no. Now we say He told you so. Now we say you lost your way. You did not do the things you know, and now we say He told you so.
After speaking through the very last prophet Malachi, God was silent. There were no more prophets, no more words of hope, and no more promises of a Savior.
Time passed slowly. 1 year, 10 years, 100 years, then 400 years. But what about the people who loved God and prayed for His return? All they could do was wait.
Come thou long-expected Jesus, born to set your people free.
Waiting for Christmas, waiting so long, waiting for someone. For I know somehow, someday, Christmas will come. Waiting for Christmas to find me, knowing God's promise is true. Anticipating that when all the waiting is through, Christmas will come. Won't you open your heart to discover something so welcome and new? For when Christmas comes, I know Christmas is you. Waiting for Christmas to find me, knowing God's promise is true. Anticipating that when all the waiting is long, Christmas will come. Won't you open your heart to discover for someone? For I know somehow, someday, Christmas is you. I know somehow, someday, Christmas will come. Christmas will come. Christmas will come. Christmas will come.
God had told the prophet that he would come to earth again, but instead of appearing in a cloud as a mighty king, God came as a man, as any man comes to earth, born of a mother named Mary.
Here's how it happened. The angel Gabriel came to Mary and said,
God's own son.
And she replied,
Oh, how I love the Lord. It's amazing that he would notice a simple girl like me. We have waited so long for the Messiah, and finally the prophecies have come true. I am so honored that he has chosen me. I will do as he says and take care of his son.
Mary is the most blessed of all women, not because she was perfect, but because she was the perfect mother to take care of God's son.
Mary loved God, and she trusted him and trusted his plan for her life.
Watching and waiting, what's in store? Such wonderful plans before me. Knowing you'll give me so much more than I'd ever hoped or dreamed. I could never have imagined all you've planned, and I can't forget the day it all began. Since you came and called my name, I can only marvel at the mystery. Magnify the Lord on high. I'll praise your name eternally. 'Cause you looked down and you chose me.
the Lord also came to give an angel to Joseph, the man who was engaged to Mary. To remind him of what the prophecy said about the birth of Jesus, the angel spoke these words.
Joseph, son of David, a young woman will give birth to God's son. He will be called Emmanuel, which means God with us. So take her to be your wife and help her raise this holy child.
And since Joseph was a godly man, he obeyed the angel and trusted God's plan for his life.
Waking and working every day.
Your perfect plan. I will serve you all the way, trusting what I can't see.
I could never have imagined all you've planned, and I can't forget the day it all began. Since you came and called my name, I can only marvel at the mystery. Magnify the Lord on high. I'll praise your name eternally. 'Cause you looked down and you chose me. It's almost unbelievable, but ordinary people live extraordinary lives when they choose to follow you. Since you came and called my name, I can only marvel at the mystery. Magnify the Lord on high. I'll praise your name eternally. 'Cause you looked down and you chose me.
Jesus was God's gift to a world filled with sinful people. But because Jesus was God with us, he alone had the power to forgive our sin.
And of all the people that lived there at that time, who do you think were the first to hear the news of Jesus' birth?
Pipe down out there. We hear you.
Don't make me get old.
Wouldn't you get dirty seated on the ground? While shepherds watch their flocks by night, all seated with the sheep. We got smelly, sticky smelly. Wouldn't you the kind of company you keep? How unlikely in the nightly glorious message came to these filthy, dirty, stinky, smelly shepherds, the last of the least. While shepherds watch their flocks by night, an angel in the sky scared us silly, nilly-nilly. We ran around and found a place to hide. While shepherds watch their flocks by night, an angel brought good news. For on this day is a Savior, born in Bethlehem for men like you. They sing Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. While shepherds watch their flocks by night and wait to find the babe, we found hay bales, crinkly hay bales, around the manger where the baby lay. While shepherds watched their newborn king, they knew this promised was. Hey, we're shepherds, stinky shepherds, and so our sheep joined us in this song. They sing ba 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 in excelsis Deo. Ba 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 in excelsis Deo. While shepherds watch their flocks by night.
The shepherds found Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus lying in a manger. The stable was probably quiet, except for the noises of the and the animals nearby. But as the shepherds knelt before the Christ child, the sounds of the angel chorus who had brought such good news must have been ringing in their ears. And in any language, their message was wonderful. A Savior is born for you.
Vobis, vobis,
Hodie, hodie,
vobis, vobis,
Salvator, Salvator,
vobis, vobis,
hodie, hodie.
a Savior is born for you. And miraculous days, wonderful, wonderful God. And miraculous days, wonderful, wonderful God. Vobis, vobis, hodie, hodie, wonderful, wonderful God. And miraculous days, hodie, Savior is born for you. Christus, Christus,
Dominus, Dominus,
Christus, Christus,
Gloria, Gloria.
Christus, Christus,
Dominus, Dominus,
glory to Christ the Lord. And miraculous days, wonderful, wonderful God. And miraculous days, wonderful, wonderful God. Christus, Christus, Dominus, Dominus, Christus, Christus, Gloria, Gloria. And miraculous days, Dominus, glory to Christ the Lord. Vobis, vobis,
Hodie, hodie.
vobis, vobis,
Salvator, Salvator,
vobis, vobis,
hodie, hodie.
a Savior is born for you. And miraculous days, wonderful, wonderful God. And miraculous days, wonderful, wonderful
shepherds were done worshiping Jesus, they left to tell their friends that the wait was over. God's own son had just been born. At last, the prophecies had been accomplished. The Savior of the world had arrived.
Sometime later, others also came to worship the Savior, like the wise men who, after months of following a bright star in the sky, found the newborn king. And when they found Jesus, they said,
We have seen his star, and we have come from the east to worship him.
Then those kings, now before the King of Kings, they gave gifts to the young child, and they worshipped him.
The baby meek and mild, Mary's son, the Father's child, born to see us reconciled. Come and worship Jesus.
Praise the glorious laughing boy, God's own son and Joseph's joy, who filled his home with heavenly noise. Come and worship Jesus. Hallelujah, with our Christmas praise, we adore and glorify your holy name. Praise Emmanuel the man, praise the Savior you who can, Christ of sin, God's loving plan. Come and worship Jesus. Praise the King who rose to reign. Praise the one who'll come again. Love him now to love him then. Come and worship Jesus. Hallelujah, with our Christmas praise, we adore and glorify your holy name. Praise the Savior, praise the Son, Jesus Christ the Holy One, till every Christmas song is sung. Come and worship
For those who came to Jesus then, and for those who come to him now, there is great joy in knowing that God came to be with us. But as we've looked at Christmas in reverse, we see that God has always been with us, always loved us, always had a plan for our lives. And even though we weren't able to worship around the manger, we can still honor him now. So give Jesus your life, give him your love, and give him your heart.
Silent night, holy night, now's the time to give your life.
that is the end.
We don't think so. We don't think so. We really don't think so. Nope.
But everyone's back in the stable.
The innkeeper, the shepherds, the angels.
The wise men, Mary and Joseph.
We've told the whole Christmas story, plus the story behind Christmas.
Yes, but you're still not finished.
So what's left?
The worship, the praise.
The good news that God sent his son to this stinky, smelly earth for our sakes, for our sins.
Right, a place where we can have salvation and a Savior to welcome us there.
So, I think it's time for us to celebrate.
Right, we have something to shout about.
What do you guys say?
So let's shout out, Emmanuel, He's with us. Shout out the name, Emmanuel, He's with us now. God is with us now. Heaven came down to live here. Jesus, Almighty God, came near, and He's with us now. Shout out, Emmanuel, He's with us. Shout out the name, Emmanuel, He's with us now. God is with us now. When the world came down here, when an amazing grace came near, and He's with us now. Shout out, Emmanuel, He's with us. Shout out the name, Emmanuel, He's with us now. God is with us now. The angel's words to Mary became her song of joy. Joseph's dream became reality. The sound of heavenly voices caused shepherds to rejoice as they saw the King of earth and told of Jesus' birth. Shout out, Emmanuel, He's with us. Shout out the name, Emmanuel, He's with us now. God is with us now. So let's shout out, Emmanuel, He's with us. Shout out the name, Emmanuel, He's with us now. God is with us now. God is with us now. Aw,